Interestingly, I think we've both gone forward and backward in the last 50 years.
I don't necessarily think that we've had progress with in terms of voting rights and the Voting Rights Act.
You know, we went through the civil rights period, we went through Malcolm X, we went through Martin Luther King, and it's like, where are our civil rights that they fought for?
Voting is really about empowering people, empowering communities, empowering individuals, giving people the opportunity to state their voices, but it doesn't really look at the issue of equality, right? So making sure that everybody's voice, whether they're voting or not, is heard.
We've moved forward in that there are more people who have the eligibility to vote since the Voting Rights Act, but unfortunately in the last 5 to 10 years we've seen a huge resurgence of a lot of laws, a lot of legislation, a lot of groups who are looking for a way to really disenfranchise a number of people in the community, whether it's women, African Americans, recent immigrants from other countries, and ensuring that the voting bloc is getting smaller and smaller.
We've seen over the last 4 or 5 years that the attack on voting rights also hasn't changed, right? If anything, it's possible that over the last 50 years they've gotten more sophisticated and have found different ways to get around both the law, whether it's using our court system, whether it's using elected officials, to basically just circumvent the laws that were there to protect.
The first groups of people that I think about when I think of voting rights are, formerly incarcerated people. Obviously, those are one of the only groups of people that, it's legal to withhold that right from them. And we've just been seeing such a boom in the prison population that demographic is so large that the effect of them not having that voice is becoming more and more profound every day.
The democratic process hasn't realized that we are a country of immigrants, or at least a majority country of immigrants, and the fact that in some very concentrated districts where people speak a particular language like Arabic or Bengali or Urdu or even Spanish or some of the Chinese languages, the fact that we can't go into a voting booth and find that access, or people who speak our languages, we have to understand that we have to adapt to the people who are coming into our country.
As a Puerto Rican woman, if I'm on the island of Puerto Rico, even though I'm a U.S. citizen, I don't get to vote. I think there's a complete dismantling of the idea of voting and who gets to vote that is happening right now.
As we quickly approach the 50th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, it gives us an opportunity to really think about who was actually captured, right? So who was given the right to vote and what that right to vote meant. And so while we like to think about that really significant time in history as being the right to vote for Black Americans, it did not include Black women.
When you have situations where it's evident that people make the rules for themselves, they make the rules as they go, it's not hard to understand why folks in communities affected by those arbitrary rule changes just don't care.
I think people only know about the presidential race, only care about the presidential race, but I've learned that you can pick your politicians for the issues that you want and hold them accountable for what they promise.